are you ready to see one of my favorite things that I have built so far in my agency, which is essentially a video to SOP generator that I'm calling Pareto. In this video, I'm going to walk you guys through the skill basically that I created inside of ChatGPT, where it can turn any video into a SOP or sign up procedure with screenshots, which is honestly my favorite thing, with the format that we've created for our clients inside of WeBuildAISystems.com. And by the time that you're going through this video, you guys will also see a ton of different AI workflows that we've created inside the WeBuildAISystems.com/workflows. So make sure to check those out as well. Now, last month, I did do basically how to create systems using Claude video, where I basically used it to create like 19 standard procedures in like a weekend. And that was essentially the first iteration of Pareto, which is my SOP builder for a lot of our own clients. So this one is something that I had to create outside of my own preference, outside of my business, and one that our clients are actively using themselves. And the workflow for it is pretty straightforward. You give it a Loom video, a Vidyard video, a Zoom recording, anything essentially that already exists online virtually. You don't have to upload it. You can go ahead and feed it into Pareto, and it turns it into a pretty detailed and nifty SOP. Now, this is not available to the public, mostly because we do custom create this for each client of ours. So if you want one created, just go into booking a systems audit call and we'll see and dive into what are things that we can definitely automate or things that you just really can't. The problem with most standard procedures is that they're just a block of text that no one really wants to see, versus if they were like recipe books where you can see step by step how a process actually gets done. It's a little bit easier to follow, especially if the person is more, visual based versus having to read through a manual. And honestly, for us, the biggest use for standard procedures within our business and for our clients, it becomes the brain essentially that we can run an AI through. So whether a client is using Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, whichever AI tool, all of the standard procedures that we've created for them essentially becomes the manual for the AI to do certain things. So this iteration of that SOP generator now adds something visual, and of course makes sure to loop in the Loom video or the video or whatever video it is that it was supposed to be grabbing all of these images and all of this information from. And this also makes it where the business is a little bit growth ready or growth steady, because as the business can grow, things can shift, things can change, because you've had your Claude or ChatGPT connected to all of your SOPs. It's going to be so easy to update them and make sure that they are actually in line with what your current processes are. Now, I've named the agent Pareto mostly because it's based off of the 80-20 rule, but essentially how it works, and I'll show you guys in a little bit, is I built it inside of Codex. I can't really show you guys the inside of it, mostly because each client will have it differently. This one is the more generic version. So right now I just named it, create BOSAI SOP. BOSAI is the framework essentially that I follow for all of this, which basically stands for B is blueprinting, which is capturing what you already have, organizing all of your data, your assets, your templates. S is systematizing, which is where Pareto comes in. And then the last two is assigning, whether you want to delegate or automate this. And of course, integrating and iterating. So this is very much the middle, the crux, the anchor basically that our whole framework runs by, is creating that into a system. So the first thing you really need to have is just the video. Now, you can record this using Loom, Vidyard, a Zoom cloud recording. It could be a YouTube video. It could be a video you uploaded into Google Drive. Wherever or whatever it is, the main point is that you have it already screen recorded, just walking through the step-by-step process of how to do a certain task. So our example today is I'm going to be grabbing this video of mine of, I built an AI assistant that runs my inbox every morning, which is the N8N plus Claude walkthrough that I have. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And then I'm going to go back into ChatGPT. And there's a couple of reasons why I built this in ChatGPT instead of Claude. But honestly, the biggest reason is just it took screenshots better than Claude. I did split test the two of them, both on the highest level, one on Soul, one on Fable, and ChatGPT just kept winning. So I just have it prepped. So my prompt is literally just prep, the skill create BOSAI SOP, and it's basically going into that YouTube video. I don't have to really put it on ultra high. I'll just put it on medium speed. I'll make it fast so it goes through this whole video. And then I'll just let it run. So you can say I'm using the BOSAI SOP workflow, the Lian context, because again, it has the Lian MD file, a me MD file, native Google Drive and Docs, browser only for inspecting the YouTube source. I'll prepare one verified SOP using the default BOSAI template and deciding from the video whether it should be remaining one SOP or split into multiple child SOPs. And I built it that way because sometimes our client will send us like a 20-minute video saying that it's this one whole process, but it's actually multiple different processes that we had to break down. So that's why that's part of its instructions. It's like, hey, verify if this should just be the one SOP or this is actually multiple SOPs inside a process. So then you'll see here, this is honestly my favorite part, is you get to see it viewing the actual video without opening my own Chrome. It's going ahead and quote unquote watching the video and grabbing all of the information, grabbing the screenshots of it. You can see, inspecting the recording playback. It's watching it and you guys can watch it. AI agents with Claude for my own executive assistant. Now this is... I do have to mute it because then I can't actually, of course, hear this. But usually I have it muted and it runs. And I can do this with multiple videos. Like if a client sent 5 Loom videos at once, I can have it okay, here are 5 videos, just do them one after the other. And it essentially creates sub-agents with itself of doing the same task, but kind of almost at the same time. So it says it right there. I have no native YouTube transcript, so I'm validating with from actual playback and on-screen narration text. Then I'll use the demonstrated actions in the SOP. So you can see it literally watching the video, quote unquote, watching the video in a lot of speed and just clicking on the next button right there. And that's essentially how it's now taking screenshots, how it's verifying that these are the steps. This is what's supposed to be getting done. And it's funny because you can see a lot of this. And you guys, there will be small cuts in this video, but a lot of the time, the reason why I'm yapping while this is running is so you guys can see in real time how it's actually doing, how it's actually running all of this, and how it learned. And it's basically just like a decade of me learning how to create systems for people that I've been able to create Pareto in this way, in this specific sense and this specific path. It's a great screenshot of me right there. But now it says planning video time screenshots, and now it's actually going back into where it tagged certain processes and certain things that I was talking about, which is amazing. So you can see it skipped through time stamps basically on my video, so you can take specific screenshots of whatever it is that it was trying to say, hey, this is part of the process. And then now it's saying prepare clear screenshots, planning privacy safe workflow screenshots. So this is one of the things that I had to create for one of our clients who had essentially was just showing client data right on their videos. And I created ChatGPT where it would block out and add privacy and basically add a blank in between screenshots where it detected hey, this is something that not everyone should probably see unless they had permission to look at this SOP. So let's go ahead and block it out so it's not right on there right off the bat. All right, so it's been a few minutes now, but it's saying that I'm running the PDF verification workflow for the final quality check. The recording frames were too low resolution and retained YouTube, Chrome, captions, and personal references, so I omitted the screenshots instead of inserting unreadable or privacy risky images. So it's just really double checking its own work. So part of how it's built, it builds it and then it quality checks itself. So it's almost like its own mini team inside of just the one agent/skill file that I created just for this. All right, so it already went ahead and did it. Let's open up the file. So I designed an AI inbox manager workflow in Claude Orient. And you can see I've not touched it. I've not added anything into it. It's just that I just clicked on the link that ChatGPT gave me, and it went, what will you need? So I created this inside of a Google Doc for a client and kind of started preferring it that way. So you'll see that there's a department, TBD, owner, frequency TBD, and status is draft. And the reason why this looks the way that it does is for each client, they'll have a different preference on what this would look like. That's why this is very much custom. There's a ton of SOP generators out there, but we wanted to make one that fits for our clients so they actually use it instead of it just sitting on there on the side. So we have the injection, we have the what you will need, key principles to keep in mind, how to do it. So it has the different instructions. Okay, so it did say, because it couldn't give high resolution screenshots, that it didn't add the screenshots on here. So what I'm going to ask it to do, I insist in having the screenshots, have the video in full screen view, so you can actually take them high quality. All right. So
are you ready to
sounds like it's real
creating different AI emails with Claude for my own executive assistant? Now, this is part of a bigger series that my assistant and I have been doing for the last 2 months, breaking down how I'm replacing her slowly but surely with AI and how she is helping me. First thing,
So if he's skipping through all of the parts of the videos, I'm just gonna let it run with the audio anyway. Okay, so it basically just went ahead and is quote unquote watching the video. I asked it to do it in full screen and it's just gonna do it on its own. Right now it's saying, you know, viewed images and grab the images basically that it needs. And it's going ahead and even editing live on the actual doc. So let me open that up again. So you can see here, it started adding a lot of the screenshots basically that it detected, you know, wasn't too privacy error. You can see here the full SOP now, and then it also has the link into the video that you can view. So for a lot of our clients, this is super useful for them to just be able to see where things are at. And again, the powerful thing about this, it becomes the brain for the AI. It becomes the source of truth for the AI, for their team. So then whenever they're onboarding someone new, they basically just have everything inside of, whether it's in Google Docs, whether that's in Notion, whether that's Obsidian, all of their SOPs become that extension of the brain. So then everyone has this collective, you know, data set that they go from rather than kind of going off on their own. Now, you don't really need a Pareto yourself if you don't want to go there, or if you don't want to work with us, that's also fine. But the main point here is you want to make sure that there is a central part that is that data center for your business, for your team, for all of the AIs. And it's also you figuring out what are things that could be and should be created or used by AI or can be delegated to a human being. The main part here to keep in mind is that it should still be human proofed, because AI can make mistakes. You saw the first output the Pareto gave me. I've run it many times, like just like this. Sometimes it just makes its own rules, makes its own mistakes. So I have to go back and fix that. But it gets better every single time. That's why that human gate is still very much a needed thing when it comes to using anything with AI. And hopefully that gave you a little bit of a preview of what a standard procedure could and should look like, especially as you are starting to scale and grow your business in the age of AI. And if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below, what would you create a more visual standard procedure from in your business? I would love to know. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Thursday on how to grow your business in the age of AI. Or if you're trying to grow a career in the age of AI, you can check out my second channel right here, or just check out the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing and wonderful day. And remember that small steps matters. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.